Hello my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing a part 2 on New Zealand's notorious asylums. If you have watched my previous videos, you might know that I have already touched on this subject and have spoken about Seacliff. Today we'll be talking about Kingseat, or it's most commonly known as Spookers because it's an attraction. And the reason that this place is so popular around Australasia, it's because of its paranormal activity. There have been hundreds of claims of people saying that they've experienced or seen something unusual or paranormal at this place. What we'll be doing today is talking about its history and about some of the things that have happened in this building, in this hospital. This topic this might get a bit heavy, so I hope that you guys have your cup of tea ready and let's just jump right into it. Kingseat was built in 1929, you guys, and it was named after its sister hospital in Scotland. Dr. Gray had decided that New Zealand needed a hospital like this, and so it was built in these magnificent grounds. It was a brick building, and it was surrounded by magnificent trees, flower beds, shrubs, everything you could want from nature. If you were going to this place, you would think it was a place for healing, for recovering, for rehabilitation, and so on, because you would be one with nature, getting fresh air and connecting. However, once you walk through those doors, things would be different. It started to become operational from 1932, and it became so popular that by 1947 it housed over 800 patients, and a 2-story nurses' home had to be built within the quarters to be able to sustain enough staff to care for these patients. Kingseat, like many other asylums around the world and around New Zealand, was supposed to be a place where people could get better, a place where people will be taking care of you. If you were committed in this place, your family members might think that you're actually there to recover and get the help that you need. However, a place that's supposed to look after society's most vulnerable became the stuff of nightmares. That was a time where out of sight and out of mind was a society norm. If I can't see it, it's fine. So who were the patients at Kingseat? At this particular place, let me tell you, it was everyone and anyone would be put into this place. From the people that were just feeble-minded to alcoholics, hysterical women, people with disabilities, elderly people, people that committed crimes. But what's most shocking is that even children were housed in Kingseat. Everyone was just thrown together at this place, and they were supposed to just be able to live in harmony. It didn't matter as long as everybody was out of society's view. But not to worry, I guess they had a maximum security wing, so if patients misbehave or if they were not complying, they would be put in that wing. These people were basically tortured, and they didn't have any discrimination. Like I said, anyone and everyone would be treated equally horrible. They suffered from beatings, assault, drugs were being used as punishment, they were being experimented on, abuse of electroshock, you name it. Whatever horrible thing comes into your mind that you think that you know about these places, I'm pretty sure it happened here. What I'm about to tell you may shock you. It certainly shocked me. to my core. I would like to talk to you about a high-profile alleged case of an 11-year-old boy named Clement Matthews. He died at the hospital, and the official statement is that he died of pneumonia. But the case was reopened in 2004, 36 years after his death. It was opened under the suspicion of foul play. The reason the case was reopened is because a former patient and a friend of Clement came forward as a witness. His name was Stephen Lindsay. What he described was so horrific that one can only truly feel for that soul. He saw Clement being thrown on the ground by a male nurse who was kicking and beating him because he took one piece of bread. Can you imagine that? He was kicking him until Stephen heard like a sharp noise, like a branch breaking. And that's when he knew that his friend's back was broken. This is what he said: "My friend died like a dog." What perhaps is more heartbreaking is that this little boy's family thought that he was being taken care of. They thought that he was okay. They didn't have any reason to suspect anything. No mistreatment. They had no clue. The only thing that they noticed is that he was always on drugs. They always had him drugged up. How tragic and horrible is that for the family? With that in mind, how many more cover-ups? How many secrets are the walls hiding? If only they could talk. There were another two 13-year-old boys that disappeared from the grounds. Never to be found. Their bodies were never recovered. Bruce Mitchell and Kelly Collins. The official statement is that the boys drowned in the Manukau Harbour. The police claimed that they found footprints for Bruce and a shoe for Kelly. Although that is the official statement, I can't help but wonder if these two boys suffered a similar fate to Clement. Bruce's siblings do believe that there might have been some foul play here because they remember seeing bruises on him. More than 200 people at the moment in New Zealand are wanting the government to do a formal inquiry, not only on this institution, but all of the institutions around New Zealand. They're waiting for their cases to be heard, and I truly hope that they do, because these families deserve closure, they deserve the truth, and these patients, these former people, deserve justice. Let's take a moment here. We know that all these places were horrific around the globe. We know that people were tortured beyond belief. We know they were experimented on. We know that people were killed. We know all of those things, right? But what sets this institution apart from all the others? Let's begin by me telling you this. In 1968, the nurses went on strike. And if you're thinking that it's because they wanted higher pay, you're wrong. They went on strike basically because the living conditions were disgusting, were awful. They were not treated fairly. They didn't have protection. There were endless chores that had to be done and not enough hands or support to help them. They were exhausted and drained. They themselves started to become mentally unstable and depressed. Some of them couldn't handle the abuse that they were witnessing. They couldn't fathom the torture that was being done to patients. They were so depressed that most of them committed suicide. The most tragic part in all of this is that it's said that more nurses died in this institution than patients. But as times were changing, what happened to Kingseat? Because the nurses' conflict was eventually kind of resolved. They had some volunteers fill in for them for a little while, and some negotiations took place. But as time was moving forward, in 1966, Kingseat was sold, following on a government's decision to replace the ongoing hospitalization of people and patients. At this time, New Zealand was going through something similar to the UK. They were wanting to rehabilitate and get patients back into the communities. They wanted to integrate them and give them a chance so that they didn't have to run these massive hospitals. Little by little, with all of these changes, Kingseat was finally closed in 1999. What happened to the patients that were not able to be integrated into society or rehabilitated? They were actually put in other institutions that were more in line with the current treatment of people. What we need to remember is that these were real people that suffered, that were tortured, that were ripped apart from their families. They deserve justice and they deserve some kind of closure. And it's so important for us to have a sympathetic ear and to also have the curiosity to learn so that we don't repeat history. And I know it sounds cliche, but we are so lucky to live in a time period where we're trying to take the stigma on mental health away. So if you know of someone or if anybody is not feeling well, please seek help and know that there's always someone that you can talk to. Which brings me to the aftermath of Kingseat. What happened to the grounds? As I stated in the introduction of the video, this place has been turned into an attraction. There's like a haunted house and there's paintball and so on. And it's very popular. A lot of people disagree with this attraction being there because they feel that it's disrespectful to the people and the patients that suffered in Kingseat. But still, a lot of people go there and they want to learn or go for the attraction or the paranormal activity. I have to say that I have been to this place when I was younger, and I can honestly say that even just driving past, I could feel the dense energy. I could feel the change in the air. It's actually I don't have the words to describe it. I want to say sickening, but it's not just that. It's you feel uneasy and uncomfortable being there. It wouldn't surprise me if there are spirits there. But the important thing is, let's not forget the past and learn from it. That's it from me today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.